Hey everybody, it is Stork from Stork Plays Games, and today I'm on the Saltier Games channel, and I'm going to be teaching you guys how to play Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, a Gemstone Mining Game from USAopoly. It's for 3 to 7 players, plays in 45 to 60 minutes, maybe faster. It really depends a lot on player count because it does play up to 7 players. So if you want to see an unboxing video of this, check it over on my channel at Stork Plays Games. So let's take a look and see see how to play this game. So let's take a look at our setup. The first thing we want to set up here is our board in the middle of the table. It has our mining days tracker or round tracker here. We have our Snow White, or our cards, I'm sorry, to the left, our Snow White cards over here to the right. We have our bag of gems. We have our tokens that look like this. We have our pie point tokens. And I'm set up here for a 3-player game. So every player is going to receive a board with their dwarf on it. This is Grumpy. A token that is double-sided that matches the dwarf on one side and the dwarf slightly darker on the other side. Your card to show you how many gems are in the bag and your turn order, what you do. And then on the other side is a chest. We'll go over that a little bit later. Your hand of cards, you have a couple different types of cards. There are the standard blue cards like these. If you don't do the advanced rules, you'd only use these blue cards. If you like a little more variety, and you would throw in these purple cards for the advanced rules. A lot of these cards can cancel these cards, and that's what those do. And now we are all set up. Whoops, one more thing. So before each round, you would start with a Snow White card flipped face up, and then that would tell you what your gemstone bonus objective for the day is. So now we're all set up and ready to take our first turn. So the first turn begins with the player with the longest beard. If nobody has a long beard, you start with the shortest player. So in this case, let's go with Grumpy first. So on Grumpy's turn, you can see here what his options are. Mine for a gem, play an action card, or leave the mine. The object of this game, before we get too far, is just to have the most pie points at the end of the game. So my cards are here. None of these are going to benefit me on this turn. So the first thing I'm going to do is mine for a gem. When you mine for a gem, you would take this bag, you would reach into it, and you would pull out 1 gem. Now I pulled out obsidian. It is not good and is not what we want. So that would end my turn. We move over to Bashful's turn. Bashful could do this card if he wants, so instead of mining for a gem, he could play an action card. This is Give Me a Hand. It chooses another dwarf still in the mine, and they would draw 2. Then Bashful would get to choose which one he wants. We would just do a little discard pile right there. So Bashful plays that card and forces Grumpy to draw 2 out. Grumpy pulls out these 2. That's bad for Grumpy. So Bashful would obviously take the amethyst and force Grumpy to take the obsidian. Anytime a character gets 2 obsidian, they have had an accident and they are forced to leave the mines. What I could have done is played this card to counter that and stop it from happening to me. But for the sake of this instructional video, I'm going to go ahead and do it so you can see what happens. So Grumpy has to flip his token over to the dark side here and put it there. He was the first to leave the mine. So Grumpy's done for the day. We would continue over to Happy's turn, and he would do the same process. If, for whatever reason, Happy decided to leave the mine on his turn, he would throw his token the brighter side up on here, and Happy would get a card because that is the condition of leaving the mine on your own choosing. This one, it continues up for 1 pie point in a card, 2 pie points in a card, 3 pie points in a card. As I said earlier, this game does play up to 7 players. So let's continue on to the end of a round. So let's say that Bashful had a really good round. Happy has left the mine, and Bashful has also left the mine. Bashful, since leaving the mine, he is the first person to leave the mine with this combination. So even though Happy left the mine first and Grumpy left the mine, but not on his own accord, Happy didn't have that combination. Grumpy doesn't get the option. So Bashful has this combination, so he would get 7 points. 7 pie points goes to Bashful for being the first to do that. So then the points are on your board. Also, when you leave the mine, you are to flip this over to signify that you have gone home for the day. So it does have the artwork that you see in my unboxing video on my page at Stork Plays Games right there. So Bashful has also left the mines, but we're going to flip these over for scoring so we can see what's going on. When you are at the end of the day and you are scoring, you do have the option to flip this card over and store 2 gems for the for another day. These cannot be attacked by other cards, so they would be safe. So in this instance, if for any reason Bashful wanted to save something, like maybe save the diamond, he could do that. A couple other things. There are multipliers on these boards. So if you get 3 of any one color, it would multiply the next set of gems by 2 if you wanted to do that. It's your choice which one to multiply. Same here. 4 would multiply 2 sets of gems by 2. If you got 5 different sets, or 5 different types, you could get 8 bonus points, 6 different types, or 12 bonus points. But you do have to make that choice. So these 1, 2, 3, 4 cannot multiply these 3 and then have those 3 multiply these 3. As soon as I choose a set for a multiplier, then this one could be used again to multiply this one. So that's how that would work. Since this is 4 though, this one could multiply both of these 2, but it would not multiply this one if I didn't choose that. So let's break down the scoring a little more in depth. So here is Bashful's board. Bashful also has the chest with the diamond in it, which we probably don't want to put there. So I can take these 4 emeralds at 3 points each is worth 12 points. If I do that, I can double these amethysts at 2 points each, making them 4 points each, and I can double these topaz at 1 point each, making them 2 points each. But this would only give me 2, 4, 6 to double those. If I double this diamond, I would get 8 doubled, so that would be 16 points. So it's much better to take the 16 points than the 6 points. So I would still get 1, 2, 3 for those, giving me a total of 43 points for Bashful's turn. So scoring Bashful's turn is over. I would take 43 pie points, put them in here, and I would return all gems to the bag. Like so. We do the same thing for Happy, score their pie points and put them back in the bag. And then we would start the next round by moving the round tracker over. We would discard this, have a new Snow White card. And then whoever left the mine last would start the next turn, so therefore Bashful would be our first player. Grumpy, when he got the 2 obsidian and had to leave the mine, would get this token, which can be discarded at any time to get rid of an obsidian, even after you acquire your second obsidian. Also, to start the next round, every player would receive a card, and the game would continue in this fashion through each round until the end of the 5th round. And that is how you play Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, a gemstone mining game. Well, that's it. That's exactly how you play this game. Pretty easy, pressure luck, pulling gems out of a bag. Cool theme, especially if you like Disney, like I do. I like that it plays up to 7 players, so hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, subscribe, comment below if you have any questions. Please put them in there. Click like, follow myself on Instagram and Twitter at Stork Plays Games. Follow Saltier Games on all manner of social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and definitely follow them and subscribe on YouTube. See you guys next time. Thanks for watching.